Gripen and F-16 dogfight for the Philippines continues, contract for 6 more NC-212I aircraft signed. Please like and share the video, and subscribe to the channel. It seems that despite the positive developments leaning towards the JAS-39 Gripen for the multi-role fighter aircraft program of the Philippine Air Force, as I had released a video about recently, the dogfight between it and the F-16V Viper for the program turns out to be still continuing. This was evident after the program was mentioned during the recent 2+2 ministerial dialogue between the United States and the Philippines. And then this was confirmed by an article by the One News organization recently also. Based on the wordings of the article, the F-16 offer seems to be a squadron of second-hand F-16 aircraft since it used the word transfer, likely from the inventory of the United States Air Force, which will also likely be upgraded to the latest V or Viper configuration. The offer reportedly includes spare parts and maintenance for the squadron of aircraft, but only for 5 years. I am not too happy about getting second-hand military equipment from the United States, or getting any equipment from them at all. But on the plus side, it means a much faster transfer of the aircraft, maybe within 1 to 2 years, and from our budget we may still end up with some weapons for the squadron. Also, the One News article confirmed that Sweden did withhold the sale of their Gripen aircraft to the administration of Rodrigo Duterte. And say what you will about the Americans and their F-16s, but at least they didn't refuse to sell it to Duterte. Personally, I want to see Sweden humbled for doing that, and if the Philippines does get the F-16, then it is they who lost that is likely to what should have been a done deal already. The article also mentioned that the Philippines was supposed to have signed the contract for the Gripens earlier this year, but was again held back because of the F-16 offer. I think this was triggered also by the expansion of the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement. It seems that the Americans have tied their offer to those bases. Meanwhile, the Department of National Defense recently signed a contract with the company PT Dirgantara Indonesia for the acquisition of another 6 NC-212I light transport aircraft for the Philippine Air Force. Not much details of the contract were revealed in the news reports though, like its value and the delivery dates of the aircraft. This will be the second batch of NC-212I aircraft that were acquired from PT Dirgantara. The first batch consisted of only 2 aircraft. When completed, this acquisition will bring the total number of NC-212I aircraft of the Philippine Air Force to 8 units. PT Dirgantara was also awarded another contract, this time for the maintenance of the first 2 NC-212I aircraft, which will be flown to Indonesia at the end of this month of April 2023 for the work to start. So, to summarize, the dogfight between the JAS-39 Gripen and F-16V Viper aircraft for the multi-role fighter aircraft program of the Philippine Air Force continues, and a contract for the acquisition of 6 NC-212I light transport aircraft for the Air Force was signed recently. Thank you for watching the video. I invite you again to like and share it, and subscribe to the channel.